us all remain standing as we now receive His Excellency the President, the guest of honor today. Na tunaweza tukamkaribisha kwa makofi. Karibu sana Mheshimiwa Rais. Tukukaribisha sana. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I'll call upon those who are going to be leading us in prayer to kindly join me on stage. Please come up on stage as we are going to start with a word of prayer. Your Excellency, with your permission, I'd like to request that we all remain standing as I now call on Hassan Eden and Bishop Henry Omai, who are going to lead us in a short opening prayer. Eden, we start with you.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. يا الله, tunakuomba Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala uliyetuleta hapa leo kwa siha na afya, uongoze viongozi wetu kwa njia ya haki na ibariki nchi yetu hii ya Kenya. Tujalie tuishi kwa amani na utulivu. Ya Allah, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad.
Our loving Heavenly Father, we come before the throne of grace this moment of time with thanksgiving. We thank you for positioning us in such a blessed country. Lord, a country that is very different and unique. We thank you for the leadership of this nation. We pray for our dear President, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, and his entire administration, O God. Even as he coordinates both the national and the county governments, we ask for more grace. We thank you for the great vision that he has for this country. We ask, oh God, for a special grace and the insight. Today, Lord, as we stand here at the Grand Park Handles Limited, it reminds us when you promoted Joseph in the scriptures, Lord, you had to come up and set up a granary to take care of God's people. And today we can rejoice. Grant him more wisdom and grace. And more so, Lord, I pray for our development partners. May you bless them. Bless the management of this institution, that, Father God, they can be able to do that which they are mandated. Receive all the honor and praise for hearing this prayer. For we ask this in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit with thanksgiving. Amen.
Let us kindly take our seats. Your Excellency, the President of this great nation and the Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, the Governor, Nairobi County, His Excellency Johnson Sakaja, all cabinet secretaries present, all principal secretaries present, the chairman of MHJ, Mr. Mohammed Jaffa, all senior staff, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, with your permission, sir, allow me at this point to invite the chairman of Grain Bulk Handlers Limited, Dr. Mohammed Hussein Jaffa, to come and make his opening remarks. Welcome. Tunaweza tukamkaribisha kwa makofi tafadhali akija.
Assalamu alaikum. Mungu bana sifiwe. Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, the Deputy President, because we are used to Mombasa, so that's the reason. Because I'm actually a foreigner in Nairobi. Rigathi Gachagua, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Musalia Mudavadi, my old good friend. He was there when the first grand bulk was led President Moi did the opening in Mombasa on 15th of March, year 2000. All this, the governor of Nairobi, Brother Sakaja, the CSCs, the PSCs, government officials, my bankers, the contractors who did this job, even with difficulties of COVID in such a short period, and most special are the customers, because without them, this would be a white elephant. Thank you very much for coming. I would like to give you a history. Where does our family come from? I am the grandson, great-grandson of Devji Jamal, who migrated to Kenya in 1860. He came as a trader, dhow owner, and banker to King George V. I wish I was born then. I'm the 5th generation. My son is the 6th generation, and my grandson Ayan and Kabir are 7th generation. I established in 1974. I lost everything. In fact, anywhere during the Second World War, family had lost the wealth. In 1974, I was nearly bankrupt. The same thing which is now being preached by our president is the Hustler Fund, is the one which made me today what I am. I started with 20,000 shilling borrowed to me by a friend. And today what you see, all my developments, is from the 20,000 shillings. That is bottom up. That is bottom up. People say, oh, they are preaching poverty. Hustler is a poverty. No, hustlers are the people who make the country. The president of this country is a hustler. He started as what? So, as a chicken seller. So there you are. This is what it is, the hustler. I started with this, and I'm proud to say one thing in my life, and I'm 75 years of age, and this is my last era, that I have never, ever defrauded any human being or the government of Kenya, which I'm proud of. Although a lot of raids have been done on my companies by KRA, but I'm glad to say that they have never found anything. Now, how did this grand bulk embarkation took birth? When the SGR came in, there was short of cargo. We were approached, and we said we can make a conveyor from Mombasa to Nairobi. And that's how this project was born. We spent $270 million to get this, to achieve this, because we had to put a lot of funds in Mombasa to cater, including the railway lines are paid by us. Because at that time the railway did not have money to pay. I'm glad that up till today, we started in year 2021, Until today, we have done over 4 million tons. The advantage of this facility, I'm sure customer knows about it. They are now able to collect their cargo just next door. While there to send the lorries to Mombasa, milk freight between Mombasa and Nairobi, today they can always get escorted to their mills from Nairobi. I would like to mention one thing here. As there are a lot of corporates and bankers here. As President John F. Kennedy has said, don't ask what the government is doing for you. Ask yourself, what are you doing for the government? I would like to ask the President to establish a hustler fund extra funded by the corporates, with which what will be, we have to give corporates, if they give some of their profits or dividends towards this on a bond of 5 years or 10 years interest free. Just imagine how many people we can save, we can bring to the middle class. No country can progress without middle class. We have to bring from the poverty to middle class, and for which you require funds. I would say the funding should be starting with the small farmers, Juakalis, because I'll tell you one thing, we have got one of the best labor force and worker in the world. We are second to none. This is my personal experience. I'm running the industries, I know they are second to none. In fact, at 2 incidents, the people from Switzerland flew in to find how my people had done the extension of Potolino, because they had the difficulties in Argentina. And it was done by a one undergraduate boy. He brought the proposal. I wish we had marked it and patented it. He would have made a lot of money. Just like M-Pesa. I would say that let's start this fund. I would ask His Excellency to get his people to work on this one, how the nitty-gritty, to get this fund online, and I'm pledging 100 million shilling towards this fund. I'm very grateful to every one of you, especially the President, the Vice President, and his entourage. Come down and inaugurate this facility. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir, for those remarks. Your Excellency, sir, with your permission, particularly for the benefit of the factory walk around, we have a short video that just gives a background of the organization that we are at.
Terminal A is located at the port of Mombasa. It was commissioned in the GBHL's Terminal A is located at the port of Mombasa. It was commissioned in the year 2000. The terminal was designed to provide the primary function of discharging bulk cereals and fertilizer vessels. Terminal A consists of 3 600 tons per hour conveyor lines located at berth 3 and 4 at the port of Mombasa. These conveyor lines are fed by 3 mechanical unloaders at a combined rate of 900 tons per hour. The cereal is conveyed to the storage terminal called S1, which consists of 24 steel silos with a combined storage capacity of 68,000 tons. There is also a flat sheet with a capacity of 18,000 tons. GBHL expanded its Terminal A storage capacity by building an extension S2 that consists of 26 silos and 11 smaller silos with a combined capacity of 141,000. Can load the cereals with delivery to our customers in the form of bags or bulk to trucks or to the old meter gauge railway. In the year 2020, a new conveyor system in Mombasa was constructed and commissioned. It is dedicated to load bulk cereals to the new standard gauge railway loading station from Terminal A. The cereal is loaded into one-of-a-kind specially designed bulk containers that GBHL owns the intellectual property. Terminal B is a state-of-the-art terminal located in Mombasa that is dedicated for the discharge and handling of other dry bulk commodities, mainly clinker and fertilizer. There is a fixed conveyor belt at berth 4A for fertilizer with a capacity of 600 tons per hour and another mobile conveyor belt that can be positioned at berth 4A or 4B for cargo discharge with a capacity of 1600 tons per hour. The fertilizer bulk vessels are discharged using a mobile crane unloader and a weighing mobile eco-hopper at a capacity of 600 tons per hour. The clinker bulk vessels are discharged using 2 mobile crane unloaders and 2 weighing mobile eco-hoppers at a capacity of 1600 tons per hour. Both the fertilizer and clinker enclosed conveyor belts run parallel to each other, conveying the cargo to the storage terminal. Terminal B has 2 concrete silos for the storage of clinker with a combined capacity of 120,000 tons. There is a flat shade dedicated to the storage of fertilizer with a capacity of 40,000 tons. It has 4 divided chambers to accommodate different grades of fertilizers. The terminal also has another flat shade that has the flexibility of storing fertilizer or clinker at a capacity of 25,000 tons. Fertilizer can be loaded to trucks for delivery to our customers in the form of bags or bulk. The site has 4 loading points for the loading of clinker into trucks in bulk. Terminal B is connected to the SGR loading point via 2 dedicated conveyor belt systems to load both bulk fertilizer and bulk clinker to the new standard gauge railway wagons. The entire system for handling and storing cargo has been designed to accommodate a wide range of other dry bulk cargo such as gypsum or iron ore. Terminal C is located at Embakasi, Nairobi. It was built in 2020. It is a terminal that is dedicated to receiving bulk cereals and storing it closer to our customers. GBHL's standard gauge railway siding was built to accommodate an entire train that consists of 46 wagons carrying a total of 3,000 tons. It has an offloading pit for receiving the cargo and conveying it at a rate of 600 tons per hour to the storage terminal. There are 24 large silos and 14 smaller silos with a combined capacity of 134,000 tons. Site C has 2 loading points for bulk and there are 2 loading points for bags. The terminal has the flexibility to receive cargo by bulk trucks and in future can load the railway wagons for transportation of locally grown cereals such as maize back down to Mombasa. We thank you for watching this virtual tour of our terminals.
Next, I would like to invite the Governor, Nairobi County, Honorable Johnson Sakaja, to make his remarks, and then after that, invite the CS. Welcome.
Thank you. Asante sana. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, Your Excellency the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Your Excellency Musalia Mudavadi, Ministers Present, Cabinet Secretary Linturi and Mvurya, Members of Parliament, our Party Secretary General Cleophas Malala, fellow hustler, Chairman Mohamed Jafar, ladies and gentlemen, good morning everyone. Your Excellency, as Governor of Nairobi, it is indeed a great pleasure to recognize your presence in the county and this facility, Karibu Sana, Nairobi. Ladies and gentlemen, grain is now a very contentious issue in the Republic of Kenya, and it has never not been. The historically minded amongst us will remember that the African agitation for independence was motivated in part by the cost of maize and of the colonial government's taxation of it. But the special intensity of the issue now is simple to explain. Kenyans can see and feel the cost of their staples, the maize that feeds the families and fuels their work and study, rising out of reach. However hard they work, the price of the most basic commodity, the basic element of a family's basket of goods, is no longer affordable for most. And that is the basic problem. That is a problem we, all of us leaders and business leaders here today, must solve. It's easy to say, it is hard to do. But we can start to cut costs simply by getting better, more efficient at moving and storing grain. That means less waste and less spoilage. It means each shilling buys more. And it means we respect the struggle of ordinary Kenyans who sweat for everything they earn. Efficiency is even more important for those of us in towns and cities like Nairobi, which can't grow grain and so depend on the effective logistics to feed their families. Your Excellency, we always say Nairobi ni shamba ya mawe. So this facility really, we're the biggest beneficiary of such a facility. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I am very glad to join in today's commissioning of the grain bulk handlers terminal here in Embakasi. It makes possible new efficiencies in the movement and the handling of grain, especially for Nairobi and for outlying towns and cities. And that, we can hope, will cut the cost of grain to ordinary Kenyans. I must thank grain bulk handlers for the work they've done here, for the history, for the work you've done in this country, and as well as the national government, without whose help this would not have been possible, and the investors, whose generosity and trust we owe this success. Asanteni nyote. But they should not have to bear the burden alone. Just as the chairman has said, if we are going to permanently lower the price of grain for Kenyans, we need more investments of this kind. We need more corporate players to participate in the work that His Excellency the President is doing, the work of bringing hustlers and bringing the ordinary Kenyans to the fore of our economic experience. So if you have expertise in grain handling, just like Mzee Jafar, sorry I'm calling you Mheshimiwa, we welcome you. We welcome you to Nairobi. Come, let us sit, let us reason together. Your Excellency, on top of these efforts, because we know the clamor for the lowering of the price of food commodities has been out there, the clincher is what you're actually doing. The price of maize, the price of grains is not lowered at the store. It is not lowered at the supermarkets. It is lowered at the farm. And we are very happy, Your Excellency, because your interventions will begin and have begun to bear fruit. The reduction of the cost of inputs, the reduction of the cost of fertilizer. We know already there have been lowering of these prices, and we know in the days and months to come, Kenyans will have reason to rejoice. But many of us in this room should ask ourselves a question, and that is why I'm very happy with the remarks about how Mheshimiwa Jafar started with 20,000 shillings. Many of you, except for the president, don't even know the price of flour. It is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. You may not know the price, but you know that when you get into a supermarket, you'll afford it. That is the security we want to give Kenyans. That is not about the movement of 2 shillings or 5 shillings, but the knowledge that when I get in there, I will be able to buy that bag of maize and feed my family. That is the security that our president is reaching towards. It remains, Your Excellency, only for us to assure you and to assure the investors here and the business people that the county government of Nairobi is ready to help in any way we can to make this facility and others like this more efficient and up and running as quickly as possible, and to keep it running, not just for the good of Nairobi, but for the good of this country. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Congratulations, Mheshimiwa Jafar, Mr. Jafar. I have listened to the advice you have given me, and I promise you I will stick to it. Your Excellency, it's now my pleasure to invite the Cabinet Secretary, my good friend, Senator, we still call him Senator. Once you get that title, he doesn't go. Even I am Senator Sakaja. So Senator Mithika Lunturi, karibu sana, so that you can also invite the Prime Cabinet Secretary. Karibu.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and the Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, my good friend, Governor Nairobi, Sakaja, Mzee Jafar, Chairman Greenbrook Handlers, and the dignitaries present. Good morning. I will be very brief. Your Excellency, allow me, with a lot of humility, thank the chairman of Greenbrook Handlers for such a wonderful and great idea of establishing this facility here in Nairobi. I want to say that I'm one of the people that are happy to be a beneficiary of use of this particular facility, because all the grains coming into the country are easily discharged from Mombasa and transported to Nairobi, which makes it very easy for other grain users in Nairobi to access that grain within very short time. So I really thank you. Number two, I also want to say that other than the use and the faster transportation of the grain to Nairobi, this facility also gives us some bit of relief in terms of lessening the load on our roads, where most of the lorries that would have spent very many hours and very heavy axle loads would have really destroyed our roads. With this facility, then it means our roads can be able to stay longer. So really, I really appreciate this initiative. Your Excellency, let me say that on behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, Greenbrook Handlers, with its sister company, Greenbrook Industries, is a team that is committed, that has really supported the ministry, and especially your cause in bringing the cost of food down, because I know, and I have discussed with them, and out of the people that have been able to bring and mill flour so that it's accessible in our supermarkets at a price lower, the 170, one of the people that have really supported us in this cause is Greenbrook and his associated companies. So on behalf of the people of Kenya, we really appreciate the support that you are giving the President of the Republic of Kenya in bringing down the cost of food. Your Excellency, because you're here and I do not want to take much of your time, let me say that I am happy and will continue working together to ensure the best and the very best for the good of this country, and the such private investors that are coming in this country require the necessary support. So with these few remarks, let me invite the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, to make his brief remarks, and then invite the Deputy President. Karibu, Mheshimiwa Mudavadi.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable William Samoei Ruto, the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, my colleagues in government, and my good friend Jaffa and your entire team, your family, and the Greenback handling team. Congratulations. Congratulations for this milestone achievement that we have had the privilege of touring. Your Excellency, I first met Mr. Jaffa in the 90s when I was at the Treasury through a good friend, the late Matthias Kerr. He's the one who introduced me to Jaffa. And I can say without blinking that Jaffa had a dream. He translated it into a plan, and it is now a reality. It is not easy to have this kind of investment, and we've been using some phrases. I've been using a phrase lately saying that to turn the economy around is not instant coffee. It's not like brewing instant coffee. And I want to repeat exactly that. That to invest the way Jaffa has and to turn around the economy, it takes planning, it takes commitment, it takes time, it takes resilience. Then you have what we have here. And that is the message that is within the Kenya Kwanza plan that the President has been talking about, that it is going to be a journey. It is not instant coffee. It is going to be a journey. Your Excellency, the confluence of the rail system with the air cargo aspect, which is just next door, positions Nairobi very strategically as a regional logistics hub. And this is something we should capitalize on, so that the advantage that all this confluence is bringing together can help in developing the economy and growing the entire region. And for this, clearly, we need to support the President so that we can have stability, we can have peace, and we can have the environment that is ideal for business to grow and to thrive. That is what we need. We shall not achieve that by when it is not time to dance the cannibal, like in Brazil. We must be clear that we need a very, very clear plan and a clear, stable nation. So, Jaffa, thank you for having confidence in this nation. Thank you for putting your money where your words are. That is very, very important for this country. Pongezi sana. And now, Mr. Deputy President, may I call you forward? The floor is yours so that you can make some remarks.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of our Defense Forces, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, the CS Agriculture, Mr. Jaffa, the Chairman of Greenback Handlers Limited, and your management team, and all the people here present, good morning. Your Excellency, this is another milestone in our journey to attain food security for our country. Your Excellency, it's a good morning because it's been raining the whole night, and this has brought a great relief to the people of Kenya. We're coming out of a very difficult situation because of the effects of climate change. And Your Excellency, in our efforts to make sure that no Kenyan die from hunger, as we mobilize food across the world to make interventions for the people of Kenya. I must report to you, sir, that Grain Bank Handlers has been an important partner in this journey. Only last month I was in Mombasa at the facilities of Grain Bank Handlers to receive wheat from Russia and sorghum from the United States to help in mitigating the effects of drought. I therefore want to say, Chairman and your team, we are grateful as a government for the role that you have played in assisting us to clear food very quickly for Kenyans who would otherwise have starved. Your Excellency, I think it's important as we discuss matters grain to commend you for your leadership, that through prudent management and interventions, you have in record 7 months brought down the cost of unga from a staggering 230 shillings to 150 shillings. Congratulations, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, you never went to look for money to subsidize unga. The only input that has brought about this success of bringing down the cost of unga is good thinking and prudent management. And that is all that was required in this country. Your Excellency, the problem of Africa and the world is one of leadership. And Kenya is not unique. The challenges that we have been having as a country for the last 5 years is as a result of leadership. You have come in 7 months and done what looked undoable. Many people have been shouting in the streets, you need to subsidize unga for it to come down. You ignored it and did the right thing. Today, unga has come down. So I want to say to those characters who are in the streets saying that they were protesting because of the cost of unga, to look for another reason now to go to the streets. That reason does not exist. And for those of us who know them, we knew it's an excuse. It was not the real reason. It had to do with other things that are extraneous. So, Your Excellency, we want to say that those of us who work under you are committed to assist you as you embark on the economic transformation of this great republic. You found this country in the ICU, and within 7 months, you have steadily moved to the HDU. And I'm sure in another 2-3 months, we will be in the ward on our way home. And we want to tell you, sir, you have the support of the people of Kenya. Finally, on behalf of the President and government, we want to assure the people of Kenya that the country is safe and secure. For those who are saying they'll go to the streets, they are welcome to go and make noise and go home. Let them not dare destroy public property and private property. That will not be allowed because we are a responsible government. Therefore, they are invited to go to the streets, wear sufriyas on the head, shout to the rooftop, and quietly go home to join their families and watch what they were doing on television with their families. But the issue of destroying property in the streets of Nairobi, in the estates, is not possible. So we want to ask the people of Kenya to go to work and to ignore those protests. Your Excellency, I now want to ask everybody to be upstanding as you assist me to usher in the President of the Republic of Kenya. Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Mr. Deputy President. Tafadhali tuketi chini. Thank you very much. Mr. Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, I know Mzee Jaffa amesema Deputy Governor. Let me tell you, you are lucky because when I was in the position you are today, Adam niliitwa Deputy Principal. So si mbaya sana. You're still doing all right. Prime Cabinet Secretary, ministers present, government officials present, Mzee Baba yetu Mohamed Jaffa, the man of my generation, Mujtaba, and all the other grain bulk family, the governor of Nairobi, the Secretary General of UDA, and all leaders present here. Kenyans, good morning. Hamjambo. Mzee Jaffa, nimekusikiza kwa makini na umesema mambo mengi. Kati ya yale mambo umesema ni kwamba wewe ni 5th generation ya jamaa alitoka mahali fulani akafika huku Kenya 1860. Nataka ujue ya kwamba sio nyinyi peke yake mlifika huku, hata sisi wote tulifika, kwa sababu huyu Rigiji na Musalia walitokea kule Central Africa, mimi na wengine tulitoka kule Sudan. Sasa tumefika sisi wote, na we are now here, all of us, as a country of equals, and everybody, despite coming from anywhere. Some came earlier, some came later. There are even those who are still arriving. But we are all one community and one nation. And that's why I am very happy this morning to be here to commission a vital logistical installation, which is of great importance to our economic efficiency and national competitiveness. The establishment of a specialized logistics facility goes a long way in enhancing the country's productivity and competitiveness by increasing cargo handling efficiency, thereby maximizing the capacity of the railway infrastructure to support stronger economic performance. Kenya is the gateway to East and Central Africa, and through our port of Mombasa, we are able to serve our own inland territory as well as neighboring countries by facilitating both inbound and outbound movement of goods and people. This way, our national transport system performs a vital economic role in supporting our region's exports and imports, as well as promoting regional integration. Additionally, Kenya aspires to ensure its international competitiveness in various important sectors. We recognize the role of infrastructure in providing the connectivity required to anchor levels of efficiency that can keep our economy competitive on a continuous basis. Further, Kenya recognizes the need of investing in greater infrastructure capacity with a view to achieving high productivity and robust economic performance that is commensurate with our stated aspirations as set out in the National Economic Development Blueprint Vision 2030. Developing seamless transport and communications connectivity is inevitable in the interest of stimulating productivity along every value chain across various sectors throughout the country. It is also critical to enhance national and regional socioeconomic integration. We have been committed to reducing the time needed for goods and services to move from producers to consumers, and a dense network of effective infrastructure is a necessary imperative. Railway transport remains the most efficient means of transporting large volumes of cargo across territories. It was time for Kenya to upgrade its railway transport system and improve general transport efficiency by constructing a cheaper, faster, high-capacity standard gauge railway in order to manage the exponential growth of imports and export trade. The Mombasa Railway standard gauge railway is now in place. However, This essential national asset is performing significantly below its capacity. I am told by the management of Kenya Railways that it's currently at almost 40%, partly because of present levels of economic activity remains inadequate, but also because it lacks requisite provisions for facilities to unlock its full potential. And the reason why the Minister for Transport and the management of Kenya Railways are not here is because we have made a commitment that we want to increase the capacity of our railway network from the current 40% to 80% in the next 5 years. And they are on a journey to sound the market on how we are going to seamlessly integrate the Port of Mombasa and our railway system, including railway sidings like the one that we have shown here, built by Grain Bulk. Those kind of facilities of railway sidings, including making it possible to deliver as near as possible to agents and to destinations. That last mile is part of the ecosystem we are trying to develop to increase the efficiency of our railway and to deliver more to as near the destination as is possible, apart from also expanding our ecosystem of manufacturing and value addition. And I want to say that we are in the final stages of expanding what we have in Naivasha as an industrial city. The government of Kenya is going to increase or add an additional 5,000 acres to be brought under the special economic zone in Naivasha, as we do the same in the 3,000 acres in Mombasa. And as was announced by the Minister for Trade and Industry, we are also in the process of setting up another 5 special economic and export zones around the country so that we can better use the infrastructure that is being put in place, including the infrastructure that has been ably put together by the Grain Bulk company. It is clear that the Nairobi Freight Station was intended to serve as a hub of cargo transport on the SGR. However, it cannot perform the function of a rail freight terminal because specialized facilities for handling bulk freight and container cargo were not developed. And I want to thank this great company for being among the first to invest in that space. I want to encourage other companies, instead of being on the sidelines, to work with the government of Kenya, and we are willing and ready and able to facilitate so that we can have a competitive environment that gives us best results. I remember having a chat with my good brother Mujtaba, and I asked him whether he has any problem with competition. He says to me, competition makes him better. And I think that is the spirit that we... Further to this, there remains urgent need to effectively complement the evacuation of significantly increased and rapidly growing cargo throughput at the Port of Mombasa by developing specialized bulk handling as well as receiving facilities both in Nairobi as well as in other discharge points. Lack of these specialized bulk handling facilities imposed particularly costly constraints upon dry bulk such as grain and clinker, which had to be transported in trucks to storage facilities outside the port in Mombasa, while the SGR terminated at the port on one end and the inland container depot, container terminals in Nairobi and Naivasha. In the absence of these facilities, not even the completion of the SGR port relief lines could ease the dire logistical constraints experienced at the port and in the inland terminals. Development of SGR logistics and commercial hubs to provide adequate storage, warehousing, handling, and other facilities is therefore essential in the utilization of the full capacity of the SGR. In turn, the enhanced viability of SGR will provide the definitive indication of our economy's strides towards sustainable competitiveness. The government of Kenya has identified partnerships with the private sector as a highly appropriate delivery model for many projects under the 5 pillars of the bottom-up economic transformation plan. Private capital is particularly ideal for developing SGR logistics and commercial hubs to be located on the wayleave within reasonable intervals along the SGR line. The hubs must contain adequate logistics, dry port, storage and handling, loading and offloading, as well as such other facilities that are needed to maximize the utilization of the SGR. The Cabinet has granted the necessary approvals to the Kenya Railways Corporation, and I am pleased to note that many qualified investors have expressed interest, and we intend to process those interests into reality so that we can enhance, as I have said, our competitiveness. Among the investors, Grain Bulk Limited is one of the most experienced with demonstrated technical and financial capacity in performing all the activities which constitute the envisaged business of a hub. As a first mover, the company has already developed facilities at the inland container terminal at Embakasi, exactly where we are. I also commend the company for its substantial contribution to the development of port and railway logistics through 2 specialized dry bulk terminals. The company has significantly improved discharge port services in Mombasa. With modern automated infrastructure, it has revolutionized fast discharge of vessels, thereby reducing freight costs, eliminating vessel demurrage, and making Mombasa the region's preferred discharge port for commercial and humanitarian relief cargo. Congratulations to Grain Bulk. In addition to its 258,000 metric ton terminal for handling grain and 155,000 ton terminal for clinker and fertilizer, both of which are at the port of Mombasa, Grain Bulk handlers have completed the construction of this facility, a 134,000 metric ton terminal here in Embakasi, equipped with numerous efficiency enhancing features, including pioneering investments in capacity to handle railed bagged cargo and the acquisition of specialized bulk containers, which we saw here, and somebody told me they have the patent for it. Maybe we will ask you to share with the other fellows who want to use the same facility. Grain bulk handlers have demonstrated the capacity of the private sector through both local and international investors to provide transformative solutions to economic productivity and enhance Kenya's competitiveness. We welcome more private sector investors to pursue opportunities in our transport, logistics, and associated sectors. The Nairobi and Eldoret railway cities are some of the logistics and commercial hubs whose development is scheduled to commence this year and offers attractive investment opportunities. To encourage them, we have established a sound, predictable, and stable institutional framework with attractive incentives and guarantees to facilitate successful investment. Additionally, I direct the Cabinet Secretaries for National Treasury and Economic Planning and the Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport to identify land along the railway to be designated for the development of these hubs throughout the railway transport corridor, from Mombasa all the way to Malaba. As we implement this important project, We shall also facilitate our customs areas to evolve into vibrant trading and transshipment hubs, serving the entire East and Central Africa region. We are therefore confident about the possibilities that lie in the future and encouraged by the potential that we can unlock through visionary private investment as we have witnessed today. And I want to say thank you very much for the offer you have made on getting more people to do what, by God's grace, God has enabled you to do. The offer to support others, to provide your own resources, to support others to be able also to realize their dreams is very welcome. I want to tell you that already the Hustler Fund has lent 23 billion shillings to many Kenyans, to actually 15 million Kenyans so far. And I was looking at the numbers. Nairobi alone has borrowed 4 billion shillings to close to 2 million Nairobians. And the very good news is that contrary to the assertions of some of our politicians that told Kenyans to take the money and go make merry with it, 80% of Kenyans are actually paying back that money and continuously borrowing. We have about 7 million Kenyans who are repeat 4, 5, 10, 15. In fact, we have one Kenyan who has reached almost 100 times borrowing and paying because they know what it means. What we have done, we have presented a budget to Parliament, our first ever budget, and we have been careful not to make the mistakes that were made in the past. We have reduced our deficit from close to $1 trillion to 600 billion. We do not want to be a country that lives beyond its means. Last budget, we had a deficit of almost $1 trillion shillings. In this budget, we have reduced it to 600 billion, and we have committed that our next year budget will continue to have even a lesser deficit because we need to cut the cloth, the size that fits us. We cannot continue to live beyond our means. We have also been careful to look at some of the taxes that impede national development, and we have removed or reduced some of the taxes. As you will be seeing, we have presented to Parliament to reduce taxes on gas because we believe there is an opportunity for clean energy that also supports our quest to make Kenya a green economy. We have also brought down taxes on property because we want to encourage more Kenyans to be home owners. We have also reduced taxes on some of our products, tea, on some of our products, coffee, because we also want to promote our farmers, promote our agriculture as the driver of our economy, and also reduce some of the packaging matters on our value addition ecosystem. And we have also been very careful to make sure that we invest in the areas that is going to stimulate our economy and drive inclusive growth as a country. And I want to tell the people of Kenya that as they will see in the coming months, we will be prudent, we will be careful, and we will make sure that there are no wastage, there is no pilferage, and the people of Kenya get value for every coin that they pay. We are also very careful to ensure that we also have interventions in the areas that support creation of jobs. One of the spaces that we are looking at is our housing program, our manufacturing agenda, and we have done the necessary incentives in those areas to stimulate the areas that will create jobs for the millions of young people, very enterprising, very innovative, and very energetic in Kenya. So we will continue to do this. I'm also very happy that working with farmers, the farmers of this country are a great lot. They work hard, they work overtime, they go beyond the call of duty, and they do the most for us to have a meal on our tables. Already 2 million farmers have accessed our subsidized fertilizer. I am told by the Kenya Seed Authority that this year they have sold an additional 2 million kilos of seed, equivalent to almost 200,000 acres of additional land that was not farmed last year will be farmed this year, because we have made it easy for farmers to go back to the farms. We are very confident that we will have, God willing, with the rains we are experiencing, we will have a good harvest, and this challenge of food, high prices of living, cost of living, and high food prices, we can put it behind us. Between the collaboration between government and our farming community, we can do this together. I also want to thank logistics providers like Grain Bulk and many of our millers across the country and traders who have worked with us to reduce the cost of food in the country. Many of our millers, just by encouraging them, have voluntarily taken off some of their profits so that we can feed the nation. And as my deputy has said, it has costed us not even 1 shilling to reduce the cost of unga from 230 to 150. Instead of subsidizing unga, which is consumption, we decided to subsidize production, because that is the model that works. I want to encourage all of us to be focused and to ensure that we work in a collaborative manner to take the country forward. I want to encourage also our friends in the opposition to work with us in building the country, and any of the issues that they have to raise, the Constitution robustly provides for us to engage in a constructive manner without the necessity of engaging in violent confrontations, unnecessary destruction of property, unnecessary disruptions of business. We believe that we can do this as Kenya and take the country forward if all of us share the belief that we must do this for every Kenyan. My interests of leaders cannot supersede the interests of the 50 million Kenyans that put us in office. I think we need to be measured. We need to be sensitive. As we pursue interests, let's not trample on the interests of ordinary people. It is very necessary that there must be a balance between interests of everybody. Many Kenyans who build a small business, like Java started with 20,000. If you organize demonstrations and that business goes up in flames, you have destroyed their lives. If somebody organized a demonstration against the business of Jaffa, we would not have this great facility here today. So I think it is important for us to know what our actions amount to, so that we are careful. Let me say that in this space, and in order to configure the optimal partnership format and delivery model for our nation's bottom-up economic agenda, it is necessary for all of us to work together in a collaborative manner from all sides. Ladies and gentlemen, the Grain Bulk Handlers Limited bulk handling facility at Embakasi, this great facility, is now officially commissioned. Thank you very much. God bless you. Asanteni sana.
Come on, let's put our hands together one more time for His Excellency the President for that wonderful speech. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We only have two other items that the management had requested for, and that is they had prepared a gift for you. So I would like to ask that we bring the gift, and at this point we'll ask Mzee Jaffa to present the gift to you, Your Excellency. After that, we shall then have the national anthem and finish off with one photo with the silos in the background, just with the management together with the leaders that we have present. And after that, we shall have His Excellency leave at his own pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to almost the end of the program. So at this point, I'm going to request that we're going to have the national anthem. Then after that, Your Excellency, as you're leaving, we kindly request for just one picture with the leaders and the management of grain bulk with the silos in the background. And after that, you can leave at your own pleasure. But for now, let us all be upstanding if there's anybody sitting for the playing of the national anthem.